The next thing, and this is very important, because a lot of website companies are out there. Let me preface this by saying, is if all we did were websites, how are we going to generate more revenue? We need to come up with something that internet can do to generate more revenue. The biggest thing that's out there now is keyword optimization. That a company will go and look at your website and come up with some obscure keyword, scaling in Montana. And then all these obscure, 40 of them, then they'll call you up. Listen, we did a free check on your website of these keywords. You don't even come up on the first 10 pages of them. You need to be optimized. We can optimize your website with all of these keywords for $20,000. It's a waste of money. Two things. People don't look for keywords, generally speaking. They look for key phrases. As you can see here, we can now track how people are coming to the website. This is more humanistic. What does gingivitis look like? That's a key phrase. Do people look for scaling? Yes. Maybe there's one person over the course of the next 10 years in Montana that's going to look up scaling in Montana. Was it worth $1,000 of your $25,000 for you to be the #1 dentist on scaling? No. You want to play the odds. You want to make sure that your keyword and phrases are maximized. Don't go, think like the layperson, how they would be looking for information. That's how you want to optimize your site. Arbitron PPM. This is interesting. For those of you that don't know what Arbitron is, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Nielsen. Nielsen are television ratings in the United States. Arbitron is the equivalent, but in radio. Arbitron is the currency for which radio is bought and sold in the United States, just like Nielsen is for TV. Historically, it's been diary-based. I know this sounds kind of antiquated, but literally, you want to talk about masters of direct mail? For years and years, 30 years, they send out diaries to thousands and millions of people. It's literally a diary to fill out, and then they come back and they come up with sample sizes for each market on what people are listening to. Over the last year, they've transitioned into a pager that respondents wear on them throughout a market. Example, in Philadelphia. And there are thousands of them wearing this, and they encode all of the radio stations with a signal that you can't hear. Best Buy encodes the music in their store with a code that you can't hear, and this device picks it up. So like MobileTrack, who tracks cars and instantly gets information, this does it with people. So we not only know who they are, we know their demographics, and we know their income, and it's immediate. So now we can start to see things that we've never saw before. Example, a format change. We can instantly see how a format change effectively changes the audience of a station. The next thing is it dispels one of the biggest myths ever in radio. Nobody listens to commercials. They do. Because this information is instant and every minute, it shows that 92% of the audience holds its lead in commercials. So the average over a 5-6 minute commercial break is 91.8% of that audience listened through the entire commercial break. The last thing on research, we always talk about expanding. All of you who are going to start the marketing should be committed to reinvesting a portion of your gross revenues from marketing back into marketing. But where do you go? How do you expand? Where do we throw the next spaghetti against the wall? In this scenario, let's hypothetically say you were advertising on the radio in Chicago on WGN, which is a big AM station, Monday to Friday, 6 a to 7 p. So you've spent all of this money over the years marketing these people. You want to expand that, but create a synergy. You want to reach those people too. We have the ability using Scarborough Research, which is a nationally recognized research company, to cross-reference. And what that means is our target audience is those people that we just talked about. Adults 35-64, household income 75,000 plus, listen to WGN radio Monday to Friday, 6A, 10A, 10A, 3P, 3P to 7P. And what else do they listen to, see, read, or watch? So now we can more effectively manage the growth to create a synergy. Branding. This is fun because a lot of people don't think about this. And I'd like to thank Dr. Dick Plash for letting me use this. A lot of people, their external marketing, they don't think of it as their letterhead, their brochure, their cards. And it's always kind of evolved. Started with this company and did something with that company. But if you took an objective view at it, you would see that there are some inconsistencies. Here's Dr. Dick Plash. He sent me all of his information. His brochure, his business card, his letterhead, his envelopes. And I want to say this, and I applaud Dr. Plash. You don't have to have a tooth or a toothbrush as your logo. Don't become fixated on teeth and a tooth in your logo or toothbrush. Branding can be anything. And Dick has this high-tech pie. I don't know what it is. But hey, everybody who knows him knows what it is. That's branded. Anybody who sees it, oh, that's Dr. Dick Plash. Well, we saw a couple of things that are inconsistent that a lot of people don't think of. That Dick had. He had all three of the elements. He had a logo, the high-tech pie. He has a slogan, but you can't see it. So only on his letterhead, because it shows when you smile in one place. And he had the name of the practice. However, there were inconsistencies, and a lot of people don't realize this. It's not just the name and logo. People are used to seeing things in a specific format to relate it back to the branding. So we started from the beginning. Here's his card, and here's his his brochure. As you can see, he just has Dick Plash here with that high-tech pie under it, and that's it. Over here, he has the high-tech pie to the left of what he has. The one thing we wanted to do is that the color was a little dull. Brighten that up and go with justification, center justification. So as you can see, we have consistency. High-tech pie to the left, Dr. Dick Plash to the right, and a consistent branding message. And because it shows when you smile is now on the business card as well. We're using it in more areas. The next thing is his thank you envelope. As you can see, and this is a penny wise, pound foolish. He only has one color. He did black and white on the outside envelope to save a few cents on that. Well, that's inconsistency in the branding. Again, left-hand justification, center on the Dick Plash because it shows when you smile. Letterhead. Now this is something that came out of nowhere. This is the only thing where he has this line, block. It was inconsistent with the rest of it. Also, the font was different on his letterhead. Again, justification and center. Now, let's see what it looks like from the beginning to end. As you can see, minor differences make major changes to the branding and consistency of what you're doing. I highly recommend you all can do it yourself and go back to your office, lay out everything that you've done in the newspaper or whatever in the yellow pages, put it on your desk and look at it objectively. And I bet you all find some inconsistencies. Commercials. I want to start out with this first one and by saying that anybody that likes this commercial and thinks that this is an effective commercial and that they'd like to air this commercial, please save my time and Eric's time and don't stop by the rant booth and ask us for input.
Adams & Ray Dentistry is looking for a certain kind of patient. They want chickens. If you lay an egg every time you go to the dentist, call Adams & Ray. After Adams & Ray's painless sedation dentistry, you'll be crowing, not crying. Nervous patients are as rare as hen's teeth. So if you're a big chicken, Adams & Ray has a chair waiting for you.
I'm Dr. Adams.
And I'm Dr. Ray.
We love chickens.
Call Adams & Ray General Dentistry, 658-2100.
A lot of you laugh. But I would venture to say, out of all the people in here, a handful of you are using the print equivalent of that. We cater to cowards. Let's keep in mind, we talk about the psychology of the patient, hasn't been a dentist for 20 years and embarrassed. How many of you truly think by demeaning them that that's going to open up the floodgates? It's not. What you want to do is be more informational. Let them know that you're there to help them. Here's an example of one of the more successful sedation commercials being used.
To hear actual RAMP client radio commercials, contact RAMP at 800-620-RAMP. That's 800-620-7267.
Doctors that do it in their own voice are more successful than using creative. However, we can be creative, even though it's dentistry, and bring real-world branding techniques to it.